This is what the young men are wearing today. The only thing missing is a Birkin bag. This is what the young men are wearing today.
Shalom. All praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham Yawashai, Ba'asham Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Kiam. And this is your brother Abawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'asham Yawashai, Ba'asham Rakah Kwadash. All praises and glory is due, especially in these times. And these pastors are freaked out, man, is what I was initially going to base the video on, right? But if you watch the initial video, I'm sure that you already have your suspicions, and upon doing further digging into the actual video, right, because the individual that is being shown in this video, okay, I tried looking into it, I tried looking him up, I tried checking for other references to him, and basically what I found out and what I suspect is that the dude ultimately is AI, okay? AI, right? So, I saw this video of this dude come out talking about this is what the young men of today are wearing, and if you look at some of the responses, to that video, right, a lot of people are saying the exact same thing, that, oh, which young men are out here wearing that, okay? And I decided that, hey, this is going to be a good video going into how these modern day pastors are. Freak the hell out, man.
Nobody's wearing that. You're lying. You're lying. Nobody's wearing that. You just wanted to wear that. It's fine. It's fine.
Right, so that's what people are saying, that, hey, he says that this is what young men today are wearing, and for the most part, man, people, those don't check, doesn't be coming out dressing up like this, man. Look at this dude, man. This is what all these celebrities that are ultimately sold out to Esau Edom, and I think and are into all these wicked, bugged out acts with these devils are dressing like, right? All these dudes that are sold out to Esau, right? All these dudes that are out here, being freaked out, okay? Basically undercover moves are dressing up like, alright? These are celebrities and so on and so forth. Even if you do admit that, hey, dudes today out here are being, that dudes today out here, the two-thirds and all the people of the world, right? The, young men, okay, are, freaked out today. Even they are dressed up like metrosexual, which is basically, and let me just quickly go to that side. I'll open it up with Chrome, okay? Even if you want to say that, yeah, these men today are more effeminate than ever, okay? Most and majority of men still don't dress this way. And even if you do want to say, oh, this is what young men are wearing today, why did you yourself go and wear that? But I'm saying all this just to say that the video you just saw is most likely, alright, because you never know with this internet thing, but it's most likely AI. And I saw a couple of videos, a couple of Instagram reels that also noticed it as well. Not only because of the choppy voice, right? The way the voice sounds, choppy, like it's low quality, okay? But also because of the fact that, and once again, I researched, I reverse searched the image, because that was the only reference towards this I could find. And even upon reverse searching the image, notice that the only thing you see here, the only results you see here, what's going on with this phone? Anyway, like I was saying, the only results you see here, right, are this exact, this is the image I reverse searched on Google. Hold on, let me try, and it's closed, it's no longer here. But let me just do it again, let me reverse search it again, right? So like I was saying, I reverse searched the image and notice that the only results that you see here are from Instagram, right? They don't even show, normally you would see reports and people will show the actual pastor's face and what he's doing or what he's dressed like. But this is the only thing you see. You look all through, you're looking up and down. This is the only thing you're seeing, okay? You're not seeing the person's, the individual's face, okay? You're not seeing the individual's face. You're not seeing the actual name of the person, right? The name of the pastor. You're not seeing anything else. So this is obviously AI, okay? because everything leads to it being AI. There's no reference to a real person. There's no reference to a real church, right? This happened. This went viral, and nobody knows what church it happened in. Nobody knows what the name of this pastor is. When something major like this happens and a pastor or a church is involved, the guy's name writes a picture of him that is coming from a different source than this actual one. You would see it out there, but of course you don't. But the thing that actually this surprised me, right, is how many people ran with it. All right, how many people ran with it? Okay, that say that okay, this is what the pastors of nowadays are doing. This is what plantation Christian pastors of nowadays are doing. That to the point where they didn't even think, oh, this has to be AI because this is impossible. And it shows you how the people see you pastors out here, man. To the point where somebody can make an AI video of a pastor doing something ridiculous and it's just on brand, right? Normally if you see certain videos of a person, you would 100% doubt that, oh, this can't be what that actual person is doing. But in the case of these pastors, man, nobody's even doubting it. As soon as they saw a video of a pastor, coming out here in some, and you see the way he's dressed, man. I don't really know what to describe it as, right? Just like actually just like a mo, right? Nobody doubts it, man. Right? Because that is the reputation you plantation Christians have today. So metrosexual, and this is the definition of the word metrosexual: relating to or denoting men who live in urban areas and enjoy shopping, fashion, and similar interests traditionally associated with gay or with gay men or women. So basically, that's what a metrosexual is. Basically, an effeminate person, right? And so that young, right? You're not surprised that dude is being seen that way, because first you're wearing a floral print trousers, right? And this ridiculously tight fitting cut waistcoat like that. Look, man, and nobody is surprised that a Christian, right, plantation Christian pastor came out looking like that. That shows the reputation you Wakitaki plantation Christians have, man. And people see that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is not dealing with you. Alright, so let's get this precept. So I can try to remember how the precept goes. Walking. Oh no, that's not it. Lead. Let's see. Lead captive silly women. That's it, right? So yeah, this is it right here. So this is the book of 2 Timothy 3. And I'll start from the top. I don't want to just go straight down to the point, right? I'll start from the top because it's even relevant to the video. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come, and we are in those times right now. I just want to say again, for clarity, that the video I was putting up is an AI video, okay? That was not a video representing a real pastor or a real congregation or real people, but it was a video that was completely made by AI. And the reason why I'm doing this video is because even though it is clear and obvious that this video was made by AI, majority of the people that you see reactions from, right, they don't even consider, right, because this is something that is within this is something that is within expectations for the modern day church, right? Nobody is surprised by it. Nobody is wondering as to how or who this guy that's doing this is. It's just what people have come to expect from the plantation Christian church, right? The modern day church. But let's keep going into it. Right, 2 Timothy 3 verse 2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves, covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful and unholy. And what you saw in that video was just part of the signs of the times, right? Because not only is it that these people that call themselves these so-called men of the Lord, right? So-called man of God, these bug outs in the plantation Christian church are demons, but really it's just a function of the kingdom that we're living in right now, right? Because it is ruled over by Esau Edom, because it is ruled over by the wicked, which is why you have this level of wickedness running out here rampant. Okay, isn't that written in the book of Job? But let me see if I can get that real quick. You know, get up thy loins like a man. And hey, you can ask anybody out here, man. Even these people that like to pretend as if, you know, oh, this is okay, right? This kind of dressing for a man is okay, right? That, oh, you know, he can dress like that if he wants to, so on and so forth, right? And they know that this is not how a real man dresses. Okay, so this is the book of Job 40 verse 7. Get up thy loins now like a man, I will demand of thee, and declare thou unto me. Right, and do you right, and it should go without saying, okay, but I still have to say it because, you know, people out, you know, Jake out, especially Jake, man, people out here, especially Jake, are stupid as hell. Jeremiah 4 verse 22, right? That a man of the Lord would never dress in that way. Okay, where you have him wearing these tight fitting clothes, right? Where, you know, his body is being exposed, looking like a damn degenerate, man. But when it comes to the Christian church, right, the plantation, wacky-tacky plantation Christianity, nobody is surprised by the way this pastor is dressing, right? In fact, the reactions, I mean, and if you know, you can even just go and look through, you know, the different reactions that people are making of this video. It's majority of them are just like, you know, they're not even surprised that, you know, a pastor is, you know, in a plantation Christian church would dress like this, even though it is AI, right? And that's something else to say about, you know, the witchcraft that Esau is using that's called this AI. But right now, let's focus on, right, the church first, and we'll get to that part, right, which is basically the witchcraft, right, which is basically this AI, to the where it's gotten to the point now where people are already beginning to fall, you know, heavy for, you know, the deception of this AI. But this is exactly Esau Edom's blessing. So it's no surprise that, you know, this AI technology is able to deceive people at this level, right? And I think it's also leading to Project Bluebeam as well, but that's a topic for another day. But let's keep going into this, right? So yeah, this is at the times that we're in, and this is what, you know, you see that the people of this world are becoming, you know, less and less righteous, right? You know, because of the way, you know, less and less righteous, because wickedness, right, has polluted the whole earth, right? As the scriptures say, man, the earth, or the rather the structures, the whole earth is out of course, basically. Right? Now I want to go and get that. Let me get that. And the whole earth is out of course. Right, so this is the book of Psalms 82 verse 5, and it reads,
never have to choose.
They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. Right, and you people that are in the world, man, you don't realize, you know, just how far away from a normal, right, structured, you know, standard of living that you are. You know, that's just how far away from you are from a normal standard of living, right, set up by the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You don't realize how far off, right, you guys are. You know how bugged out, how off course, how off you are, basically, which is basically off the right, not off the righteous path, because that's the only way I can explain it, man. Because you have to understand that the righteous way of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai is the only true way to live on the earth. Okay, especially for you Israelites, as you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right? But let's keep going into it. 2 Timothy 3 verse 3, without natural affection, truth breakers, false accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good, traitors, heedy, high-minded, lovers of pleasures, more than lovers of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, having a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. From such turn away. And this is the main point right here. But going into what we just read right now, you know, these are the function, or rather the characteristics of the modern day Babylonian and the people of this world, right? Where they, as the scriptures say, man, let's go into that as well, you know. So that you have to bear with me going into these precepts, because that just it's important to bring this out, because it gives more context, you know, and allows you to understand, you know, why I'm what I'm trying to explain
In
here,
Drive,
right?
you never have to
It makes
choose.
it easier to
It's all in
explain my
one.
point, to
Safe,
bring out all these
affordable,
precepts. That's
and
why the
fast.
scriptures say
Download now.
precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, here a little and there a little. Jeremiah 4:22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me, they are sottish children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. Right? And when it comes to being wicked, man, Jake has, hey man, our people are, Jake is quick to that, right? Jake is instant, Jake understands, exactly how to be wicked, because like I always say, man, right? When it's time to be wicked, when it's time to try to, Jake always comes up with the best, looks for all the loopholes, right? That's when Jake starts using the full, his full brain to think of different ways to be wicked. Oh well, like in the scriptures it says, "Thou shalt not wear what pertaineth to a woman," right? So if I dress, in this certain, if I dress in this certain way, right? Even though it's completely bugged the hell out, right? Technically women don't dress like that. That's how Jake thinks, man. They look for loopholes in the laws, right? They try to twist the scriptures in order to fit their, the narrative or the agenda they want to push. Look at what Alazar was saying about what he did, what he did, man, about him getting pegged. That's how Jake is, man. When it comes to being wicked, that's when they start to use the 100% of their brain, right? But when it comes to what the scriptures actually say and the righteousness of the scriptures, that's when you see Jake draws a blank. They can't get that part, right? Jake can't get the simplicity of the scriptures, okay? What the scriptures is saying, the righteousness of the scriptures. But when it comes to being wicked, oh man, that's when Jake starts using it. That's when you see these niggas out here, man. These demons out here start using the full, power of their brain. All right, let's keep going into this. Right, because these people that are in the world, okay, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh is not dealing with them, so they don't, so they're not partaking in the righteousness of this truth, right? But let's keep going into this. 2 Timothy 3 verse 6. For these sorts are they which creep into houses and lead captive silly women, laden with sins, led away with diverse lusts. Right, and this is and this is also going into the deception of, this AI videos, okay? Because that's exactly what that video was, even though it's depicting the reality of the plantation Christian church, and really what it is more of a caricature. Like for example, all those old drawings you usually see in newspapers, I think they call them caricatures, right? That's exactly what it is, a caricature of the modern plantation Christian church, where you have these pastors that are completely bugged out, right? Constantly doing different things that are bugged out. How many times do you see on the news, some new form of wickedness, or rather something wicked at the plantation Christian church is always getting involved in, from the massive sex scandals, right, that you see with the Catholic Church, okay, to the debauchery that you see even with these smaller plantation Christian churches. There was this one scoffer that was always against the Hebrew Israelites that recently got hit with SA charges, okay? If you don't know what SA is, you can look that up, the SA charges, right? And he was dealing with I think she was like 17 or so, right? And that's what goes on in these Christian churches. Not only is it spiritual fornication, but actual carnal adultery, okay? And what I mean when I say that is, I mean, men dealing with other men's wives, like you see happening in some of these other Israelite camps, and we usually hear the reports of things like that going on in them, right? Because the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh is not dealing with these Christians, man, these plantation Christians, okay? Alright, the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahweh is not dealing with them. And now that I've gone into that a little bit, now the other thing I want to go into, which is the secondary part of this video, because initially, and I was just going to speak on and cuss out the Christian church, but then if you find out that this video that you see here is actually AI, right, and it shows you that, man, this is how Esau Edom will continue to deceive the whole earth, right, with the use of this AI, because this technology is getting better and better. Okay, this technology is getting better and better. And basically, then so lucky about that. I don't know why I'm having a run. I'm having running nose. Right, but right. What I was saying. This is the blessing that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai gave to Esau Edom, and the power to deceive the earth. And like I said, if you look at the videos, going into all the responses, because that's all you really see. And let's go back to that. Let's see if I can still bring that out. Yeah, okay, yeah, here it is. Yeah, if you look at this, is all these are all responses, man. These are all people doing responses to this video right here on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, right? These are all video responses to this actual video right here. And what this video out here is, like I said, man, it's AI, okay? But you see that a good number of people don't even notice that, oh, this video is actually AI. And that shows you that the deception that Esau Edom is preparing for, it's preparing for you people out here that are in the world. You will, it's getting better. Hey man, Esau is getting better and better, right? While you think that Esau Edom, oh, it's June, ain't no microchip, right? But you don't realize that what these devils are actually doing is they are refining the technology. They are improving on the technology and getting it to the point where it's beyond leaps and bounds, right? Before, I think that was like what? Yeah, wasn't even that long ago. That was like 2023 now. When ChatGPT started getting more popular and AI art started coming out, where everybody would know it was AI art because the fingers are always messed up, right? The fingers, they never looked right. It had multiple hands, the images never looked right. But now the AI technology in just 2 years has improved to the point where that finger thing isn't an issue anymore, and I should know because I've been using the ChatGPT to do AI to test out the AI art and see how it works. Okay, so now it's to the point where you have actual videos, okay, being done with AI, because before there was something called stable diffusion, right? And let me go into that a little bit. Stable diffusion, which is how these AIs make their videos. Let's get that right. And this is how these AIs make their videos, through the use of stable diffusion. And initially, the stable diffusion method was just making multiple images and linking them together, which is how you had your stable diffusion with the AI. But now the technology has gotten so good that you can actually have a video that even looks moderately convincing in just 2 years, man. So obviously Esau is building on and improving the technology, and is doing so up to the point that this AI will be indistinguishable from reality. Then in conjunction with the deep fakes and so on and so forth, Esau can make you people out here in the world believe anything he wants to believe. And the reason why I say only you people out here in the world is because, as it is written, there is no enchantment against Jacob. And of course that Jacob refers to the elect of the nation of Israel. So let's get that. That should be the book of Numbers. I think the book of Numbers 23. Yeah, 23. So this is the book of Numbers 23 verse 23. Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there any divination against Israel. According to this time it shall be said of Jacob and of Israel, what hath the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai wrought, right? And like the scripture say, man, there is no enchantment against Jacob. So this deception, man, if the spirit of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai does not give you that discerning eye to see through these things, you will ultimately fall for it. Okay, so this is the definition of stable diffusion. Stable diffusion is a deep learning text to image model released in 2022 based on diffusion technologies. Okay, so it's since 2022, which means 3 years. Okay, the generative artificial intelligence technology is the premier product of Stability AI and is considered to be part of the ongoing artificial intelligence boom, right? So not only is stable diffusion used in creating the AI videos, it's also used in creating the AI images as well. So all these AI videos and AI images you are seeing is called generative AI. and that's exactly the technology that is being used to create these things, stable diffusion, right? And this stable diffusion technology, okay, this AI technology, Esau Edom is consistently and constantly improving upon it, to the point where, hey, eventually you're going to start seeing AI videos that are basically indistinguishable from reality, similar to those AI interview videos that you are seeing, right? Of course, you could still tell that it wasn't AI because, of the way that the voice sounds, which of course is an issue for now, okay? But it will eventually get better and better to the point where you won't even be able to tell which is AI and which isn't, because that's even a major issue right now, okay, on the internet. So you have, and I did a video on this actually, the dead internet theory, right? The dead internet theory, right? But what I want to get first is bots on the internet. Bots on the internet. I want to see if I can find something first. There it is. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly what I'm looking for. So this is basically what the dead internet theory states, that bots are now, but that the majority of interactions you have on the internet are actually with bots, right? So, like for example, if you see somebody leave a comment on one of your videos, you might think that, oh, this is a real person, not realizing that no, actually this is a bot, okay? But yeah, bots now dominate the internet, surpassing human traffic. The internet, okay, an ad, and I want to see if I can close this. I don't think I can, because it's not going to let me do that. And I was hoping I could actually look into this. But yeah, they just go back. Alright, let me use this one. Half of all internet traffic now automated, and that's basically what the dead internet theory states. Basically, it's that most of your interactions on the internet are actually with bots and not with actual human beings. So now, this article, hi, half of all internet traffic now automated. If you sometimes feel that the internet isn't the same vibrant place it used to be, you're not alone. New research suggests that most of the traffic traversing the network isn't human at all. Bots, software programs that interact with websites, have been ubiquitous for years. But in its 2025 Bad Bot report, application company Imperva claimed that this is the first time traffic from bots became more prevalent than human traffic. Okay, so you have a security company, right, that says that it's monitored the traffic that usually traffic most likely from its clients on the internet, and it says that majority of the traffic it's seeing is actually from bots and not from real end users, which are normal human beings, okay? The rise in bots is down to generative artificial intelligence (AI), Imperva said. This is the same technology that now flirts with people online for you and automatically writes heartfelt consolatory emails on behalf of heartless administrators. This tech has made it easier to create bots that do your bidding online. While some of these bots are benign, not all have your best interest at heart, right? And the rise of AI is making it so more and more of the internet is filled with these bots rather than actual human beings, right? And that's the deception, man. That's the deceit right there, that you might think that, oh, you are chatting with a real person, not realizing that, or a real person put a comment in your videos, not realizing that no, these are bots, man. And pretty soon you're going to start seeing more and more of these bots, to the point where eventually it's going to be, AI. It's going to be AI that will be making, videos out here, right? I wanted to say something else, but I'm going to leave it at that. So with that, I'll end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Rakakodash, Wa Abad Babal, and through the Spirit of Yakim, and you are quite edified, Shalom.